And it's not going to work by putting it in a cash investment. It's actually, you're not getting any return. And when you're building some inflation on top, you're actually losing money if you're putting it in cash. So yeah, our advisors are saying, trying to talk to the clients and say, look, there is still a wall of money in cash ISAs, for example. So it's fine putting it under a tax efficient wrapper, but you're getting no growth. So it almost negates the tax efficiency of the product. If you're looking at an ISA, you should look for one that's really your stocks and shares ISA, as it's still called. But putting money into a cash ISA, everybody, you're shielding. The tax break you're getting is non-existent because you're not making any money on it. The other issue on allowances there, and whilst I'm on it, is we hear the gentlemen in our investment teams talking about the stimulus coming into the economies from governments. This has to be paid for at some point. Now, I make this point on most of our webinars with our advisors and for clients as well. I would say, you need to use your allowances because now more than ever, you either use them or you will lose them because pension allowances are very favourable in the UK still. They were slightly amended at the last budget, but still you need to use them because this will be an area where the government will look to trim the sails, as it were, and cut costs. So you should use your allowances this year. Make sure that you're giving the money across and funding towards your investment goals.
Just to add to that, Mark, I think one of the things, as Chris has alluded to there, that yes, inflation is low today, but that's not to say that it remains low going forward. And I think even doing shopping at this point in time, you're starting to see some foodstuffs inflation start to be evident there, and that probably is one of those areas where inflation can pick up relatively sharply, given the changes that we've seen, given the lockdowns that are in place and the challenges that that's presenting, particularly as it relates to fresh produce, and that could start to spike into inflation as we go through this year. I think the other thing as well, just to always keep in mind, is that the base effect that we'll see from the lower energy prices as we roll forward 12 months will be quite significant. And so if oil prices and petrol prices only move up 5-10% over that period relative to where they are today, that in terms of the low base effect will have a quite material impact on the underlying inflation rate at a time when the central bank and the government are issuing a lot of gilts into the marketplace. So they'll be in the quandary that they don't want interest rates to pick up, but inflation rates could be gradually moving up, an impact of where we are from the base effect and also as the stimulus kicks its way through.
Yeah, I mean, all of this. Sorry, Steve. I was going to say all of this has to be paid for. We've got the UK borrowing at 180 billion for the next 3 months, so there is a price to pay.
I mean, what I would say on that, everybody, is if you just look at the numbers there that Jeff has alluded to, say we hit the government's target, and it may well overshoot this or whatever, but of 2%, when interest rates and savings rates are in basis points. Now, basis points, everybody, are a percentage of, a percent, if you like. So, 0.1 is 10 basis points. So you're actually losing money on your savings. By putting it in a cash ISA, you're going backwards. By putting money into cash, you are going backwards at a rate of up to 2%. Now, people say, well, it's great for mortgages. Most clients who are getting towards the midterm when they've built up some assets are not really interested in mortgage because they have smaller mortgages or no mortgage at all. So it really will hurt cash investors. And we could be in the perfect storm where interest rates are not going up and inflation starts to perk up a little bit. You're losing a lot of money in your savings. Please take financial advice. Come and talk to us about it.